My name is Artur. I'm working in the startup called License Rocks. We are building some solutions for the creators and brands if they want to monetize their content using NFTs. So we are just preparing some tools for brands that they can utilize some content that they already have as a NFT, so they can do it without actually getting into smart contracts, solidity. They can just use our tools. I get into the Web3 space, I think, in the mid of 2019. I was really interested in how to use my programming skills in Web3 world. I tried to program something using Bitcoin, but as you might know, Bitcoin is not that easy to actually program something. It's not that easy to develop new smart contracts. So I got interested in Ethereum. And right now I'm really interested in all solutions that are built on this chain. I'm not an expert of Solana, of Bitcoin, and some other chains, but the Ethereum is something that I really like. Today, I would like to share with you some low-code tools that I already tried in our startup and that I tried for some freelance work or some side projects of mine. So I will share some of the projects with you. Short disclaimer that I was not paid for advertising any of these products. So it's just like my personal list of the projects that I really like. And I will tell a few words about each of them today. Before maybe I jump into the presentation, I would like to share with you some, actually two failures that I had from hackathons that I participated in the past. I also encourage you maybe to write on the chat your experiences if you had any fuck up, any failure during the hackathon. Share with others because I think it's always better to learn out of other people's mistakes. My first hackathon when I was in university, I went for the hackathon with three of my other friends from computer science degree, and we were so technical that actually we were just focused purely on programming, coding, and we didn't have anybody in our team who actually could pitch our idea and talk to the people on the hackathon, to the judges, to the sponsors. And that was actually a huge disaster because we were so focused on programming that we actually didn't know how to sell, how to pitch our idea. So I think the learning out of it is please try to build a well-balanced team for the hackathon. So if you are a developer, try to find somebody from business, from marketing, from copywriting, some designer. If you are a designer, again, try to find for some other people because it's just, I think, more fun to build stuff during the hackathon if you can challenge your idea with the people from other ecosystems than yours. And my second learning was, I think, my last hackathon just before COVID. It was in Netherlands. I think this hackathon was lasting for 2.5 days. And the first day we spent on arguing about tech stack, about the framework, about the libraries that we want to use. And that was actually a huge waste of time. So I highly encourage you to just decide on your stack if you are a developer, if you have some other developers in the team before the hackathon, just to not waste too much time on the discussions between developers. Why React, why Angular, why some other solutions. If you have some agreement about it, I suggest just to time box it, just to have some agreement that, okay, we are arguing about tech stack for, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours, and we have to make this decision within this time box, and then just forget about this, because trust me that none of the judges will be interested in that, and also your customers will not. So it's very important actually to focus on your idea, how you would like to present it to others, how to prototype it, and think about the business model, about the idea that you would like to validate. And I think this is a way more important than actually deciding on the tech stack, especially during the hackathon. That were two learnings out of the hackathons that I had in the past. And now I will go to the low-code tools for the Web3. So the first thing that I would like to clarify is that I think a lot of people are using low-code and no-code definition as the same thing. However, I think that low code and no code are actually different things. So no code is, in my opinion, the way to create some application or prototype without actually touching any code at all. And the sad news for some of you is that in Web3, I think we don't have many no-code tools that are truly working. There are some, I will tell you about them during the presentations, but I think most of the useful tools that are in the Web3 at the moment are the low-code solutions. And by low-code, I mean here some components that you can put into your code base just to solve some specific problem, so you can save your time on not developing this feature yourself. So whenever I will be telling you something about low code, I mean a component that unfortunately you have to have a bit of programming skills to actually use that component within your code base. And if we have no code tools, then I mean solutions that are some kind of wizards where you can, just click around, use some buttons, and then you can have some prototype or something that you can use without touching any code at all. Okay, so going next, when it's a proper moment to use low code, I think it's great for hackathons because, as I said, you don't have a lot of time during the hackathon, so you cannot actually build everything from scratch. I know that sometimes developers are really enthusiastic about the hackathon, and if you ask them if they can deliver something during the hackathon, they can deliver everything. But after the hackathon, it turns out that some of the tasks that they thought that it's feasible to deliver during the hackathon, they are actually taking 3 weeks or so, because it's not that easy as everybody thought. So I think low codes are great for hackathons and are great for prototyping and are great if you are on the early stage and there's a huge risk that you will pivot or that your idea would be just not validated. So I think it's worth to use low code then. I think it's also worth to use low code even if you are in the major project, because sometimes it's just good to try something and tell your customers like, hey, here is something that we are working on, here is the beta, maybe you would like to try this new feature. And then if you see that actually it sticks, then you can think of actually developing such functionality in-house or thinking about using the low code, but in more production way. It's often also the problem of the early stage startups that you don't have enough time, you don't have enough people, you don't have money to hire freelancers and so on. So whenever you think about adding new feature, it always adds a complexity to the existing code base. So sometimes it's really beneficial to actually try to isolate some feature and deliver it within the low code solution. Okay, and before I jump into the list of the projects that I think it makes sense to try, I will just name a few cons, because actually low code, as everything in computer science, it has pros and cons. So I will name a few. In the meantime, I think Diksha has a link to this presentation because I will mention a few projects. So if you do not write it down, then you would have just access to the same presentation where you have working links, so you can save it, bookmark it for later. So the first thing about low codes that I think you have to be beware of is actually always having always having, sorry, a bit of water. So the main issue with the low code is actually some kind of having a backup plan. What happens if this low code shuts down, or if they change pricing, or if they change their API, or if they're not supporting our chain anymore. So it's always worth to have some backup plan whenever you are using low code tool. Because unfortunately, sometimes low-code tools are just changing their pricing, or they are pivoting, they are changing their strategy. This is especially valid for some fresh products. So you have to be aware of it. And whenever you are adding a low-code component to your startup, to your project, just consider what would happen if this product would be not anymore on the market, if you have any idea how to actually mitigate such risks. The good news about Web3 world is that it's not built mainly by corporates. So there is no dodgy moves like some vendor locking, or building some tools on purpose that they are extremely cheap in the beginning and then they are just way expensive. I think this is known from the traditional Web2 space, where, for example, Google changed their pricing for Maps API, and a lot of applications that were using it just didn't make sense anymore. So I think we don't have that problem in the Web3 space at the moment. However, I think it's always worth to just think of what is your backup plan. I also recommend you to always check pricing and always check API rate limits, because sometimes you can just calculate quickly that, okay, if I will use this API for, I don't know, 1,000 users, and 1,000 users actually are making sense for my application, because then it makes it profitable, then always try to think how this affects your business model, and if you are charging your customers enough that you have to steal some money to cover your expenses. So maybe it's obvious thing, but I think sometimes it's overlooked. So I highly encourage you to just check the pricings and do some calculations if they are making sense for your specific use case. So I think the good example of the low codes are always the low codes that allow you to migrate from them. So if you have, for example, tool for authentication, and you are not able actually to fetch your customer data out of the API in really simple manner, then I think it's a red flag, and you should always be cautious about such projects. But all the projects that I mentioned now, I think there are quite good in terms of migrating from them, and they are flexible and easy to be they are composable with some other Web3 components. So the first one that I really like is Magic Link. Magic Link is a solution that allows to set up authentication into your application. It's quite often that whenever you build something, even for the Web3, it's useful to actually have some concept of the account of the customer. And you may ask yourself now, okay, why am I talking about email in the Web3 space? Because email is not really decentralized thing. But I think the Magic Link, they did a really great job about creating a custodied wallets behind the scenes. So for example, if somebody logs into your application using their email, they don't have to specify any password. They just the customer just have to click the magic link, like the name of the project, and then the session is created. And you have SDKs that you can easily use on the client and on the backend side of your existing app. So if you're a developer or if you are familiar with JavaScript, it's very easy to actually integrate Magic Link into your code base. And then if somebody is creating a new session, then there is a new wallet created for a specific email. And this wallet is able to sign transactions through the Magic Link API. I know that it's not fully decentralized. However, I think it's a great trick for user experience, because sometimes you have to prepare application which will be used not by crypto degens, not by people that have multiple wallets, that they have Matic, Ethereum, they know what is sidechain, what is bridge, and so on. And then you can easily onboard such customers to your application using actually email authentication, and still you can give them option to actually sign transactions, to receive tokens, to just be a part of Web3 world with this custodied wallet. And of course, Magic Link is quite good if you would like to actually migrate from it. So if you would like to someday make a user pro user that actually owns own private key and so on, it's also possible to actually transfer the assets from such account. And Magic Link also, they have some other tools in their tool belt that they are simplifying onboarding. So they have some on-ramp solutions that people can just pay with the credit card and, for example, get some ERC20s. So it's quite convenient. Another project that I would like to mention here is Bikeonomy.io. It's a startup from India, and they did a really great job for preparing an infrastructure for a gas station. Gas station is a really interesting concept in Ethereum and the blockchain world, which allows to pay for your customers. So for example, if you have your customer that is on the Web3 protocol or Web3 application, the main problem is that your customer needs to pay the gas fee whenever they want to interact with the smart contracts. And Bikeonomy gives you, again, low-code tools, some libraries, some tooling that you can integrate into your application in the way that you are able to pay for your customers' transactions. Of course, on the Ethereum mainnet, it's problematic because the transactions are high, the gas fees are high. However, if you have Polygon or if you have a network like Arbitrum, Optimism, and so on, the transactions are really cheap. And then using the gas station, you are able to pay for your customers whenever they want to interact with your smart contracts, and then you can bill them for that later, for example, using some different mechanism. They also did a really good job with account abstraction. Account abstraction is a really hot topic in recent, I think, months. This is a new concept that you can basically create independent wallet that is manageable by your customers, for example, if they use social login. So it's, again, something that your developers or you can try to build yourself, or you can just use a Bikeonomy, and then you can create account abstraction wallets using their tools, and, for example, enable your users to use LinkedIn or, I don't know, Twitter to log into your application and still have the possibility for them to have a wallet. So it's really great. Another thing that I really like about this gas station is that they have a really nice interface for managing limits. This especially makes sense when you can invite somebody to use your application and still you would like avoid situation that somebody is abusing your application, I don't know, transferring NFTs all the time, and then just, getting your tokens out, right? Just by doing some silly transactions. You can use Economy. You can limit that every user cannot spend more than X, or a certain application can have some daily limits, and all these stuff you can develop yourself, but it's time consuming. So I think it's really, really beneficial to actually try it, especially in the beginning, because developing that from scratch would take your time. If you would like to build something for NFTs, there is a project called Simple Hash, which is a great API for actually querying any data about NFTs. So if you would like to fetch some floor prices, metadata, images, and so on, this is a great API. They have a really generous pricing. I think you can start without paying anything. This is especially nice for NFT use cases, because if you don't have something like Simple Hash, always you have to call the blockchain smart contracts directly, and it always takes more time than just using some centralized API like Simple Hash. However, I think can speed up development, and for some use cases, it really makes sense to not talk directly to the smart contracts, because it would take ages for you to aggregate all the data. It can just simplify querying the NFTs. The NFT port XYZ, it's something like Simple Hash. However, these two projects, they have slight differences between what their APIs are offering. So if you have some NFT use case, I think it's just worth to check their documentation and see if your use case actually can be easily supported by NFT port or Simple Hash. You can both try for free. Then we have a project called Alchemy. Alchemy is something that allows you to talk to the blockchain. So it's some kind of gateway that whenever you would like to read or write some information into the smart contract, you can use Alchemy. And Alchemy is great because besides this fast gateway for the programmers to actually connect to the blockchain, they also have analytics. So for example, if you would like to see how your application is used behind the scene, which wallets are the most popular wallets, or which smart contracts are most often queried, and which transactions are called there. I think Alchemy is a really nice tool for that. And then also they have some APIs for NFTs and ERC20s tokens. The API for NFTs is not that good as Simple Hash and NFT port, but still I think if you have some simple use case for NFT or ERC20, it might be helpful as well. Then there is a project that I used and that we used in License Rocks for one of the customers. They wanted to have some checkout with credit card that is fully compliant. That's because, for example, if you would like to have a checkout for NFT in Europe and you would like to charge within the credit card, Stripe, PayPal, and most of this, let's call them old-fashioned payment providers, they are not happy to process your payments for NFTs. And there are some specialized solutions like Paper or Vert, and they are just allowing you to set up a checkout for NFTs that is compliant, so your customers can use the credit card, and then behind the scenes the fiat money is converted into the crypto, and then Paper can directly call your smart contracts and, for example, issue mint for your customer. So it's quite convenient. Then we have some small tool. It's especially, I think, useful for front-end developers, because whenever you would like to interact with some smart contract, you need to fetch an ABI. ABI is, I think we can describe it as some kind of structure of the smart contract, and you need to have it on your side whenever you would like to actually connect to the smart contract. And this project just allows you to do it in a simple way, because usually you have to go to Etherscan, you have to scroll down and just fetch the ABI code there. And with this tool is just a bit easier. Then we have a tool that is actually a bit combination of low code tool and no code tool. It's ThirdWeb. ThirdWeb is quite good wizard for generating smart contracts without actually any knowledge of Solidity. The only thing that you should be aware of is that, like most of the no-code tools, it works well for some use cases. But if your use case is really specific, then all of a sudden it may turn out that ThirdWeb is just not enough, or sometimes it's even, takes a bit more time, try to fight with ThirdWeb and their library, their design to deliver the functionality that you would like to have. So it's always worth to just spend some time evaluating if this ready smart contracts that they have actually supports your use case. If yes, then I think it's just worth to try them, because they are not only smart contract generator, but they have a really nice dashboard. They have some use cases for NFTs, for giveaways, for lotteries and stuff like that. I think it's a nice project. However, you have to be aware that it's just not working for every use case. Then there's something like ThirdWeb, but a bit more into NFT space. It's manifold, and again, it allows you to generate an NFT, upload some metadata, set up some giveaway links, and so on. So it's something like ThirdWeb, but not that developed, I would say. So a bit less use cases. Then there is a great protocol called Unlock. Unlock protocol, they offer tooling if you would like to build some kind of token gating, subscriptions, memberships. They have a lot of ready-to-use tools that can be easily integrated with some landing page or your dashboard. So if you would like to just offer something that is revealed if somebody do certain action on the Web3 world, like signing something or claiming that customer owns some certain NFTs or certain tokens, or they have the Unlock protocol is actually quite customizable in terms of constraints you would like to customer to meet to unlock something. So if you have something to unlock, then I think this project is a good choice. Then there is another project. It's called XMTP. It's a protocol that allows Ethereum wallets to interact with each other. So for example, if you would like to add to your application some kind of chatting functionality that the owners of the wallets, they can chat between, or if you would like to deliver notifications or some alerts to the certain wallet, then it's a really nice protocol that allows you to do it. Of course, again, it's something that you can build yourself. But I think XMTP, it just speed ups tremendously work of the developer, because React developer can actually prepare chat functionality quite easily without getting too much into cryptography, without understanding all algorithms behind it. So it's really nice if you have some messaging use case in your application. Then there is a Zapper. Zapper is really nice tool. It works great if you have a lot of NFTs, a lot of assets between many chains. You can just log in there with your wallet and they are automatically fetching what coins and what NFTs you have. Actually, one day I discovered that I had some dollars on the Binance Smart Chain that actually I forgot about them. So if you have the same problem that you purchased some tokens in the past, Zapper is great. Super nice UI. You can just log in there with the wallet and analyze what you have, what is it worth, and so on. And beside that, they also decided to make money by releasing API. So if you would like to have some API and query prices, if you would like to query some DeFi data, I don't know, prepare some dashboard or try to build some solution that analyzes DeFi protocols, then I think it's worth to check this because they have really decent API. And again, it's something that you can build yourself, but it takes a lot of time to set up the servers, to set up caching, to query every smart contract, to actually fix some corner cases because some smart contracts are better documented than the others, and Zapper just takes away all this complexity from you. So if you would like to query some smart contracts that are in DeFi space, then I think it's a really nice tool. It also works with NFTs. However, I think these projects that I mentioned before, like NFT Port or Simple Hash, are just a bit more specialized in that. And Zapper, I think it's better for DeFi use cases. Then we have a 0x protocol, if I pronounce it right. This is something that whenever you need some access to exchanging some pairs in your application, if you would like to, I don't know, automatically, for example, change some deposits from Ether to some stable coins or stuff like that, then I think 0x protocol is great. It also offers some APIs for NFTs like exchanging and stuff. So if you would like to build functionalities like that, it also can save your time. Then there's something from project OpenSea. From OpenSea, a really nice protocol called Seaport. Actually, it's not super well documented yet, but still, if you are building some application that you would like to create some listing on the OpenSea, or if you would like to have some marketplace mechanics in your applications, like selling NFTs or exchanging the NFTs for other NFTs plus some tokens, then Seaport does really good job with it because it's super gas efficient and yeah, they have a lot of use cases. The only downside of the Seaport is that it's not really low code or no code. It's more like library, right? So you can use it. There is still a documentation on the OpenSea, but I think it's rather for developers with some experience, but it can also save a lot of time. And yeah, that's all from the projects that I prepared for you. If you have any questions about some of these projects, or if you would like to ask something about low code, or if you have some specific use case that you were thinking of, and maybe I didn't name the project, I would be happy to answer if I can.
So questions. Do we have some questions? Gomti,
Yeah,
you
hi Archer. Thanks for the presentation. I wanted to ask if you know by any chance any low low code or no code solutions. Someone wants to set up a DAO central bank.
Okay, for DAO, yeah, actually, there are a lot of tools for DAO. Maybe I didn't cover that in my presentation because I'm not really experienced in that space. However, I think there's one list of. I think I was Googling for that some days ago. It was DAO app list. I just type it into the Google, and there were a lot of, I think, some good resources that were aggregating the stuff for that. Some DAOs that I was participating, I know that they were relying on the tools like Collapland. So some already to use Discord bots. And this is, I think, the most popular component because basically you can issue some tokens, and then if somebody is an owner of the token, then you can grant them access to your Discord and to some certain channels. So I think a lot of people are using that. However, if the other part of most of the AOs is actually managing the funds, right? If you are more successful DAO, you can have some funds to actually manage, and then I think the great solution for that is Safe from Gnosis, because basically they have it's, I think, Safe Global, or 1 second. It's a really nice tool. Yeah, save.global. So you can just launch the wallet, and it's quite have some really nice user interface, and you can set up the wallet in the way that some certain people from your organization have to sign, for example, the transaction, pre-sign it. And if some rules are met, then, for example, you can purchase something, or you can use funds in the name of your organization. So there are just, the only recommendation I have for DAOs, and no experience with some more complex tools. But yeah, here Rock give you probably nice recommendations.
Thanks a lot. Seeing that, yeah. So this one, Safe, would essentially program governance issues. Basically, will let you do stuff based on certain conditions.
Yeah, exactly. I know that it works quite good for small DAOs. I'm not sure how it will work if you have, I don't know, 10K members, because maybe there are some limitations then. But besides that, I think for some smaller organizations, a lot of people I know, they are using that, and it's quite good.
Okay, thanks a lot, both of you.
Thank
I
you.
really like the answer, Arthur. Thank you. I'm Mark, CTO at Foundance. Tarek, you're probably on our Discord also. Please do reach out direct. I know quite a few of the DAO builder platforms with, like the Aragon and Colony that Rock has put there, and also the code underneath with the Molochs. But Safe is an excellent place to start, and also has a really rich plugin ecosystem where you can do kind of richer governance, kind of fully decentralize your operation, and plug into the tools like Snapshot as well, for off-chain voting. But I'm pretty sure I've seen you here before, Tarek. So if you're on Discord, John Mark 13 is me. Please reach out and we can chat about it.
Okay, what's your? I'm not super familiar with Discord. I started using it. What's your name on Discord?
It's John Mark 13, and I look like a frog.
So, okay, all right. So I can reach out to you on this.
Yes.
Thanks.
And we have, I think, one AI related question. Gomti, do you want to switch on the mic and ask, or do you want me to ask on your behalf? Okay, but I'm not sure if this is the right room for this question though. She is asking some low-code solutions for AI integration.
Yeah, so I'm not a big expert in AI space. I just, did some experimenting, like probably most of the developers since the ChatGPT was out. And the only thing that I can, maybe it's not truly low code, but the first thing I can recommend for developers is to check site. I think it's Hugging Faces. Hugging Face, sorry. It's actually an aggregator of a lot of models that you can access first from their UI, and then also you can some of them you can just use some API calls from your application. The another one that I can recommend is Replicate. It's another way to actually programmatically access some of the models. So for example, if you would like to, I don't know, generate a QR code that looks like something, they probably have it. Then it's always important just to check the pricing and always think of how to limit access to these external models so nobody is actually abusing your API just by calling through your API to some other APIs. So this is something, but it's not really no code that you can sit here and just click multiple buttons and have application. It's more like if you are a developer, like front-end guy, you can basically try to generate something without any machine learning knowledge, because then you have here, as you can see, it's just a simple API call, and you can just write a prompt and then receive some image in return. So that would be it. Another thing that if somebody is a React developer, I think Vercel, they did a really nice project. Vercel is maybe not something from Web3 space, but still, I think this is a platform for for deploying applications like Next.js. And they come up with the product that allows you to quickly deploy applications that are talking to this API, to these APIs that are relevant for AI. So you have here like OpenAI, you have Hugging Face integration, and so on. And I think it's even worth to check their documentation as a preparation for the hackathon. If you would like to build something like ChatGPT and talk to some APIs behind the scenes, I think they're did a really good job, explaining all the problems that you might have. So you have some examples how you can build something using Next.js and how to quickly deploy it to the Vercel platform. So it's really, really useful. I can just paste the link to the chat. But that I played with it, and yeah, I think it saves tons of time, especially if you know React.
Thank you. Yeah, that was very helpful. Iona, do you want to ask your question now? But actually, we will share the recording. So I think they missed what is manifold for.
Yeah. This was tool something for NFTs, right? So if you would like to mint NFT that is claimable for free, or if you would like to set up some easy, page where some whitelisted addresses can mint some NFTs. So I think Manifold is just another tool that allows you to do it without any smart contract knowledge. It's, I think, maybe not that developed as Third Web, but still for use cases with NFTs is quite good.
Okay, thank you. And then there's another question on somebody's idea. I'm going to paste it here. Um, It's my idea is a Web3 insurance platform using blockchain to distribute compensation to users based on real-time data, democratizing the process and simplifying access to funds. I want to connect an Oracle from Oracle providers like Chainlink. Do you think it is possible to use any of these tools?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I think many people who heard about oracles immediately think about insurance and how to actually fix this problem. I think the problem with this use case is actually it's depending of what kind of insurance you would like to solve, because oracles at the moment, they are delivering certain data sets, right? So you can have access to the exchange rates, some financial information. I know that there are some oracles about weather in certain regions. So for such use cases, if for example you would like to compensate agriculture issues, if there is some problem with the weather in the certain region, then perhaps it's possible to actually utilize oracles for that. However, if you would like to solve the problem of ensuring, I don't know, that somebody damaged your car, or I don't know, stole your bike, then I'm afraid Chainlink doesn't have answer for such use cases. So before actually deciding to go with Chainlink or not, I would highly encourage to check the oracles that are available to use at the moment, and just check if you can use any of these that are available. I think it also makes sense to join Telegram or Discord from Chainlink. Some times ago, I had some problems with Chainlink, and I reached out to the team of Chainlink, and they were really helpful to me. So I think it's worth sometimes to just ask on their Discord about specific use case, because maybe they would have at least some customer who is dealing with the same stuff, or they heard the use case before. And another thing that I would encourage you to do with Chainlink is actually make sure that the pricing is good for you, because in one use case, when we wanted to use Chainlink for the loot box use case, actually for some kind of items it was not making any sense, because we had to pay of course the fee to the Chainlink, and also cover the fees of issuing transactions because obviously Chainlink sometimes have to deliver some data to your smart contract, and this means that you have to cover the expenses for that. And in some use cases, it's quite expensive. So if you know that you have to query Oracle, I don't know, every 5 minutes or often, then all of a sudden it can turn out that it can be really, really expensive. So I just recommend to check with the team on the Discord, ask about your use case, and then try to clarify the pricing if it's right for you.
Thanks, Arthur. And we can probably continue this topic on our Discord with other mentors also from our team, Saurabh. There is a question by Shubham. Any help these tools can help in developing a blockchain-based supply chain tracking using scanning devices to mark checkpoints of the products? Wow, that's quite specific. Here.
Yeah, so I think out of these tools that I mentioned today, I think there's no tool that can, out of the box solve the problem. The tracking and scanning devices, I know that there are a lot of startups, a lot of products that are trying to solve this issue. However, to be honest, I didn't work, or I didn't try any product yet that was really good, in my opinion, because usually a lot of products are, just putting some QR code on the physical product. You can scan it and see something in your app. But if somebody copied the QR code and print it on another physical devices, usually it's not protecting anything. I don't have, unfortunately, any good recommendation on that.
Sure. So I think we are done with the questions. Do we have any more? So you can just simply turn on your mic and ask.
I was going to quickly ask Arthur, thank you. There were loads of tools I hadn't heard of in there as well, and I think they could help us too. And I really liked something you said at the beginning around focusing on the business, and these tools allow you to do that. Are you familiar with any, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe boilerplate or skeleton code that takes one or two of these to present just a useful login experience and a simple website maybe? Potentially it's from Vercel, and then just really allows you to focus on building, whether it's a supply chain solution or something else, but you don't worry about anything else.
Yeah, I think there's maybe I don't know the boilerplate that just within one command you have everything in place. However, I have some recommendation for React developers. I think this WAGMI library is really great. It has really nice documentation. And for example, here you can check how you can create sign in with Ethereum, right? So for example, if you have Wallet Connect, already you can add the authentication to your application within the wallets, and you have a lot of mobile and desktop wallets, and you just don't have to implement everything from scratch. So I think it's a great great library for React developers. It has some ready hooks for querying the smart contracts and so on. So it can save a lot of time, because I know that some other libraries are just more cumbersome. There is also another project, I think, called UseDApp. And UseDApp, I think it's also doing really good job in terms of being boilerplate, but still, if you jump into this, you have to know React. So I think this is maybe a message to front-end developers that it's easier to start just knowing React in Web3 space, because most of the libraries that are really working, that have some vibrant community around them, are in React. So if somebody is Angular developer, I think there are just less choices to make. So UseDApp and WAGMI are great libraries that can speed up the development, and also whenever you want to have something with the wallet, I highly encourage to just try Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect is an, I think, open source non-profit organization that simplifies actually talking to the wallets and supporting all kinds of wallets, switching networks, supporting mobile wallets. It's really tricky. And Wallet Connect from version 2, it's really great. It's very easy to integrate any wallet to your app. And I think it's not trying to do it on your own to set up the wallet connection, it's really challenging. So I would always recommend to start with Wallet Connect, and if for some reason it's not enough, then go with other solutions.
Thank you.
Nice, thank you. So you heard it here, everyone needs React devs for Web3 and Django devs for their AI projects. Go.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Okay, I'm just checking if I missed anything on the chat. I think it's all good. So do you have any message for us, Arthur, before we go and, for all the hackers who start hacking on Friday? So they have 3 days. Are there any final tips they should keep in mind while building?
Yeah, so I think I wish you all success during the hackathon. I think it's worth to to participate in such initiatives. You can meet a lot of nice people. You can find a job. You can just start building cool things on your own. So I always admire people that actually are participating in the initiatives like that. I just have one advice to have fun, to try work on the complex stuff, to something that really excites you, because then it's just easier to focus on such projects after the hackathons. And another advice from the beginning: just try to balance your team. Don't think that you need only developers, because I think it's always worth to have somebody from a different point of view. So look for copywriters, look for designers, for people that are working for NGOs or some public organizations, because I think it's always beneficial to actually build in more diverse teams.
Yes, I think we also emphasize a lot on that, that we don't accept single founder applications. We really love teams to be as diverse as possible. And with that, thank you, Arthur, so much. This was very helpful for all of us. And I will share this in our Discord channel, in our newsletter, and also a link to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining. And also, please find Arthur on YouTube. He has his own channel as well, and it's very good. And you can follow him on Twitter as well. And I will share the links on our Discord. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good evening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.